Let's get to some of the other stories that we're working on here today for The Now. Many of you may have seen this article. It's been trending on our website for about 2 days now. And if you're looking for thrills and chills, you need to look no further than Satan's Hollow is what it's called, and it's in Blue Ash. Now, we told you all about it. You may have recognized the phrase, the portal to hell. Well, our website posted this. It went viral, and The Now's Allie Kramer looked into it. Allie, what'd you find when you checked it out?
Well, Julie, it certainly is a creepy place. At this time of year, Blue Ash is swirling with rumors about Satan's Hollow. Oh, this is a picture of the entrance. You can see it's really just a storm drain with some graffiti on it, but it's what people think happened inside there that has them talking.
For 27 months, Las Vegas was UFO Central. A secret program known as OSAP was created back in 2008 with support from Nevada Senator Harry Reid, and actually became the largest UFO investigation ever undertaken by the U.S. government, at least as far as we know.
But the investigators for the program, all of whom had top security clearances, encountered things that were far stranger than UFOs, phenomena that could be accurately described as paranormal.
That's when I received a full download about OSAP that stunned me. What they found in this sprawling UFO investigation is that these unknown craft, whatever they are, seem to generate spooky phenomena that seemingly shouldn't exist.
I've heard there's blood on the walls.
Rick Fenbers is a thrill seeker looking for the creepiest place in Cincinnati.
First time I went to Satan's Hollow, me and my brother-in-law Ray, we went looking for it.
And just 4 years ago, he says he found it here, nestled deep in the woods in Blue Ash. The decrepit storm drain has a rich history, an urban legend of sorts.
It was a creepy place. Took a couple steps inside and our imagination playing tricks on us. It's dark, there's echoes coming out of there. We didn't want to go any further. You know, you don't know what's in there.
Perhaps it's because Fenbers knows the legend, knows what supposedly happened inside decades ago.
Some time ago, Satanists used it as their meeting place. They would hold masses, have sacrifices there.
The narrow tunnels stretch several football fields, best illustrated by this hand-drawn map.
There is supposedly at the end of one of the tunnels an altar room, supposedly where the Satanists, actually had their sacrifices.
Satanic graffiti is scrawled on the walls. If we've got your attention, there's some bad news. The portal to hell is on private property and isn't open to the public. Blue Ash police say they are always chasing off teens that find a way to get to it. But if you're a true believer, it isn't just the cops keeping visitors away.
And allegedly, they managed to actually open the door to hell and summon a demon that I guess hangs out there now and protects it for them.
And we heavily went into Skinwalker Ranch, property of Robert Bigelow's. He offered a facility where we could see UFOs and the paranormal at once in one location.
How did this ranch in northeastern Utah, previously owned by Las Vegas aerospace tycoon Robert Bigelow, become a key part of the government's classified UFO investigation? It started at DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, where rocket scientist and intelligence analyst Dr. James Lakatsky and a colleague, Jay Stratton, became both puzzled and alarmed by reports about UFO intrusions at many of our nation's most sensitive national defense facilities. Residents of the Uinta Basin in northeastern Utah had been reporting frequent UFO incidents for decades, probably longer. And the Bigelow Ranch was deemed an epicenter of weird activity, not just UFOs, but also unknown creatures, things that presumably exist only in myths or movies. Okay. Bigelow's organization, NIDS, moved on to the ranch, and its team of scientists and investigators began collecting testimony from residents, then started seeing the creatures and phenomena for themselves. Lakatsky, Stratton, and the bosses at DIA were intrigued, not repelled, by the wild stories. They wanted to know if UFOs and the seemingly related paranormal incidents might be considered a threat.
Because I could see from my organization the threat potential, and we were uncovering many of the things you were observing. Strange creatures. I mean, think of inducing these, what might be called illusions by some people, into an enemy force. We wanted to learn what can be weaponized here.
Lakatsky and Stratton put together a program which DIA approved. The acronym was OSAP. Senator Harry Reid helped secure the funding, and Bigelow Aerospace was the contractor. 50 full-time investigators were hired, obtained top-secret security clearances, and went to work. The main focus was UFOs and UFO technology, but one smaller focus was measurable health effects on people who encountered a UFO and were physically harmed or developed rare diseases, including psychological effects. That allowed OSAP to cast a wide net and to report seemingly outlandish stories about creatures, poltergeist-type activity, and other weirdness. Dr. Lakatsky says that OSAP created a massive database of UFO accounts, but the witnesses were typically reluctant to admit that they had also had paranormal experiences after encountering UFOs.
We realized that people who openly say and are confident enough to say, I observed a UFO up close, maybe on the ground, that they always seem to have a paranormal connection in some way if you gently push them.
Perhaps the strangest experience reported by nearly everyone in OSAP who visited the Bigelow Ranch is what is now known as the hitchhiker effect. At least 5 highly experienced intelligence officers who went to the ranch to check things out came into contact with paranormal phenomena and then took it home with them. They and their families would see balls of light inside their homes, shadowy figures, even creatures that were physical, not merely a mental image. After one investigator returned from the ranch to his East Coast home, his entire family was bedeviled by orbs and what they described as a wolf that walked on 2 legs.
The one here in the Washington area, and that's why you have to say paranormal. I mean, what did it get in a train or plane and come to Washington? It left deep scratch marks on the tree it was resting against. There was physical evidence.
After the existence of OSAP was first reported by us in 2018, and the full scale of the strange phenomena it had examined was made public by Dr. Lakatsky in his books, including the newest one, New Insights, skeptics claimed the DIA had killed OSAP at the end of 2010 because the reports it received were simply too weird.
Did they ever have the opinion that, oh gosh, this is getting kind of weird?
No, they never did. They basically wanted kept quiet. That's all. They didn't want to see it in the Washington Post.
Lakatsky and others familiar with OSAP tried to find a new home, a spin-off version, something called Kona Blue. Harry Reid helped lead that charge, and the Department of Homeland Security initially said yes, then higher-ups killed it. Lakatsky's new book hints that some slice of Kona Blue did move forward, but he declines to spill further details about that for now.
The real-life Gates to Hell. Nice tune, everybody. Once famous in ancient mythology as a terrifying door to the underworld, archaeologists are now revealing that a site in southwestern Turkey could be the real deal. ABC's Dan Harris is here with the story. Dan, do explain.
Hey, good morning. I'm happy to explain. You know, we've covered all sorts of dramatic archaeological finds in this show, many of them hotly contested and super controversial. Jesus' tomb, the remains of Noah's Ark, and now the subtly titled Gates of Hell.
Now, scientists say they've discovered the actual entryway to the underworld, or at least where the ancients considered it to be. If you're picturing a sinister-looking, pulsating portal, well, not so much. This is what is left of the so-called Pluto's Gate. These ruins in southwest Turkey were once an elaborate temple built around a cave people believed led straight down into the depths of hell. Back in 24 AD, the Greek historian Strabo wrote, "This space is full of a vapor so misty and dense that one can scarcely see the ground. Any animal that passes inside meets instant death," which is why these scientists put on gas masks for their work. It is an archaeological find, thrilling enough for an Indiana Jones plot, but this is not the first claim laid to Satan's front door. In Turkmenistan, this crater is one of the other alleged gates of hell. It's easy to see why. The fire there has been burning for more than 40 years. But back at those ruins in Turkey, they've covered up the entrance to the gates of hell, which is perhaps for the best.
There really are, by the way, lethal vapors coming out of the gates of hell in Turkey. Back in the day, that area was sort of a tourist destination. Pilgrims would come visit, and if they slept close enough to the cave, they would have visions and prophecies, which modern science would explain it as them getting high off the fumes coming out of the cave.
That's a whole That's called hallucinating. Thank you so much, Dan.
Different type of story now.
Yes.